Good afternoon, survivors. This is, I guess you can call this will be my first impressions of build, well, the first impressions I'm sharing with you guys of build 14A, the hotfix that came out yesterday on July 16th. And I have to admit, it's great. Wow. Let me kill this guy. I've been shooting zombies all day today. Oh, there we go. I fired, nothing happened, and I fired again. And anyway, I'll just say, sum it up in one word now: the overall Dead Linger experience. Wonderful. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about what's fixed. First of all, my horrendous stuttering that I had when I would run around and did all this tweaking with graphic settings and stuff like that. No issue at all for me. Great. It wasn't unplayable before, but it was definitely noticeable from previous builds that I had a lot more stutter and jumping and stuff. And now it's just smooth comparatively. And this guy gets hungry super fast. So that's super commendable. We could look at the graphics settings. What I did when I got the 14A, I went into my 2 saved games, and those worlds are borked. So for me at least, I had to make all new worlds, which is fine. But when I got into my borked worlds, I could run around. It's hard to explain. I didn't delete them. I might pull one up one day, but it like stuck me in a pit in the world that was like 1,000 feet deep. It just looked weird. But what I did was I came into the graphics, because they said they had redone some graphic options and programming and stuff, and I just hit the reset button and put it at the low default settings. Because what they said was they changed the default settings of the graphics to run better on lower end machines. And all I really did from there was I just turned up some, I left the grass density. I could probably tweak that up a bit, but I put the grass distance out a bit because it seemed I could tell that my grass distance was short. But everything else I've pretty much have not touched at all. I think I turned tree quality up. The first couple times I was in the world running around, after I made just a couple of those changes, I don't know, it's hard to describe how the world was trying to load in. I thought something was just really wonky. But after I tried a different couple seeds, everything seems to load in pretty well. So the game is actually running really smooth. It's a pleasure to play actually now. Barricading does actually appear to be fixed. I'm really nervous to say that, but I've gone on to a couple seeds that I've experimented with and have plunked down some planks and stuff in different areas, logged out, logged in, tried to zone, come back, and they appear fixed. I haven't even shown you anything. I'm just telling you some stuff. I'm not showing you things. I'm just telling you. Let's show you some stuff. So here I am running around the world. I mean, this is great. I'm spinning. We're not stuttering. World generation still has some issues. That's not perfect, but I have here, I wish I had binoculars, but you can see the road stops. The 2 seeds I've played, I zoned into places that had no housing or anything, and spent a good 20-30 minutes on each seed running until I found civilization. So I'm in a spot where it took me a while to find some housing, so I'm going to stay. Luckily, it's got housing. I've got Leland's, a couple office buildings. And what I'm going to do, once I start recording some playthroughs, not just rambling on about what may or may not be fixed, I'm actually going to take this house and I'm going to practice barricading. What I did over here, don't have the bicycle with me. Bicycle runs great, by the way. But if we run, so if we run Let's show you this here. For this spot, I was gonna go ahead and fortify this Leland's, and I think you'll see. Yep. Now you didn't see how I had this placed before to see if or notice if it's shifted or not, but this is pretty much how they went in. So you guys can see with me here. It's kind of like a baseline. Just strung up some 2x4s. They couldn't cross. I had a couple zombies that came in here and got stuck. There's the bicycle I found from running around. So what I'm gonna do is, now that I've shown you that, we're going to shoot some zombies. Now here's something else that may or may not be, let me reload, a thing. It seems like the zombies spawn at kind of a slow rate, but they're actually spawning. I don't think yet in the entire time that I've hung around and shot all the zombies in the area that I've actually run out of zombies. So I'll always have zombies to deal with, which is great. I think that's kind of how it should be. There should never be that, you know, I clear the area and I'm safe forever. But they spawn in a few at a time, so it's not like, you know, all of a sudden here comes 50, which hopefully they get that kind of sorted out, because the occasional horde that, you know, like, oh, do I stay or move or kill them all? But just have that occasional, oh, I'm not entirely safe. It's a good feeling. So what we're going to do, I'm not going to explore the office building. We've done that already. But I'm going to run past it, and we're going to see if I can trigger a world refresh. So if you don't currently play the game yourself and you haven't seen how the world refresh works, we're going to run through it. The idea behind it was, what they wanted to do was not give you the static screen to look at while it goes through and clears out buffers and memory and different things. What it wants to do is allow you to still stay in the game, and we'll show you what happens when you zone. So if you've gone to the website, you've read how it works, but if you haven't seen how it works, I'm going to try and force it to trigger here. Just got to run far enough away. Maybe I should have grabbed a bicycle. Me and bicycles, we don't get along. Yeah, my wife says even in real life, me and bicycles don't get along. Yeah, not because I won't ride it, because someone steals it. Yeah, she was just saying how I had one, and someone stole it. Thank you. Oh, multiple. One since we lived here, but yeah, wow, okay, so now I can't get the world refresh to trigger. I was really looking forward to showing you guys how that works. Come on. Almost there. There it is. All right. So yeah, it's like a fog that rolls in. I have limited movement. It does kind of stutter, but that's the world drawn in. And you got the little symbol in the lower right hand corner letting you know that you are going through a world refresh right now. Now at some point like this, it just kind of stops, and then I'm going to pop back in playing. That's actually not too bad. That's less obtrusive than just your game coming to a screeching halt and you got your load screen. Not bad actually. And they've also stated that in time, that's something they can improve even more, so it's less obtrusive. You know, they got some other tricks and gimmicks they can do. Well, the idea behind that fog was to help you know and understand that, hey, there's a world refresh going on, and possibly hide some of the math and stuff that's going on behind the scenes as they clean up the area. So that's a world refresh. It's actually really not that bad. It is a little disorienting at night when it happens, but an oh so creepy effect, because then it's you know, just super foggy and you're running and you come up onto roads and things, and it's just a really great effect. So the one thing I have not seen yet since build 14 has come in at all, just in general, is rain. Someone asked on an earlier video, you know, what do the rain effects look like? Do they look like the pictures? I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you because it's not rained. And I don't know why it wouldn't be in there. I hadn't heard that that would be something necessarily that they purposefully left out. So maybe just the rain in the world is very infrequent. I mean, I've played lots of games where rain happens all the time to where you think, you know, we must live in Seattle or something. But maybe we live on the other side of Washington and there's just not much rain. I don't know. One thing I have noticed, and I won't say build 14 in general, but just kind of something I don't think I've necessarily addressed, is they have a really good smattering of zombie speeds. It seems like there's 3 speeds. There's like the slow, slower, and slowest. So, oh, hello, you just died. Maybe I shot him earlier and he just bugged out. But I don't know if that's specifically anything to build 14 related. But I have noticed there seems to be about 3 different speeds of zombies. And that's nice. It'll be nice when the next build comes out and they actually get some graphical variation, which I think is something they said is going to happen in the next build. So that would be nice. Now I thought I saw over here a partially built home. Now I'm not currently going to work on rebuilding a partially built home or creating some elaborate structure. I think I'll wait for the nation to do that. Nate Shun. Just to me it looks like the nation. So anyway, he had some videos where he actually built some really nice structures from a previous build before they switched over to Unity. But now that barricading seems mostly good, he might actually be able to take and build something. Now you still get wonky placement of items on occasion. Okay, that I will admit. And it could be because I haven't really been down here to look at things. Don't know if that's related to item duplication or just how those particular things spawned into the world when that was generated. See, if you notice, he was a little bit quicker. It's just so cool. So yeah, they all look the same, but some of them move different. Look, I got that trigger safety. The game just feels fun to play. I've just been running around. I haven't really done or accomplished anything in the game. Just some looting, running around, just kind of getting a feel for how it works now. I think if someone were to ask me, is the game worth getting now? Yeah, now this would actually be worth picking up. If barricading does indeed stick, like I'm going to run back to my house now. I've run around. I've done a world refresh. We're going to pop over, at the Lelands, I mean, and see if anything is shifted up from the Lelands. If it was going to shift, it would have shifted by now. So we'll run back and take a look. But if it holds, see, he's moving much, much slower. We might actually start playing regularly again, and I'll just force you all to watch me slowly gather materials and hammer up barricades. I'm not going to barricade the Lelands. As I was over at the Lelands, I could. That's just going to take a lot. But I think what would be funner to start with is just barricade a home. So we'll barricade doors, windows, and like I said, the house I selected is going to be the house at the end of this block. I think there's one behind that one. Let me see. No, that's my end. I'm going to take that house as my own. No particular reason. I just said that'll be the one. And I don't know if that's my dead zombie that will drop when I get close enough. Yep, there he is. So let's go back in. Let's see. So they said what they fixed as far as barricading went was item shifting up, and I mean, looks to be about in the same spot. I just feel like as I'm sitting here, I feel like they're slowly inching up. Because part of me does not want to say that it's fixed and have it not be fixed. You know, I'm not going to eat because I'll log out here pretty soon. But I'm feeling pretty confident that we might actually get to go and do some barricading. So my thought was, before when they said barricading was fixed, some of the problems we had with barricading was not only items were drifting up, but it seems like items just at random would fall off of their attachment points wherever you had hammered them. They'd disappear, fall off, or they would duplicate and there would be additional planks and things. It just had all kinds of screwy stuff. And then when build 14 came out, they said barricading was fixed. In my mind, I'm thinking that they probably fixed all the stupid stuff that was happening with barricading that made barricading not work, except for the floating up business, because we saw that that was still happening. And so if they have fixed all the other nonsense and stuff does not float up anymore, we have the basis of a game. And if items are not duplicating as much as I thought, if at all, then we've actually have accomplished fixing two of the things I said that are going to keep this game, well, at least in the beginning, make it a viable contender for an actual survival game. The last thing to fix is resetting infection and resetting hunger level when you exit the game and come back. Currently, I'm okay if your infection level resets if you leave the game and come back, because they haven't provided for us yet the ways to remove infection if you have it. So that's fine. Reset. However, we do have food. You can scavenge and find food. So it would be nice if the food meter did not reset. That for me was like the last thing that needed to be fixed, was replenishing your food when you leave and come back. So of my three things, it appears that two of the three are in a much more functional state than ever before. On top of that, add the much improved graphics, way improved trees, better world generation, buildings sit on the world better. I did find a cabin on my way here running through the world. It did have a lot less loot. It just fit well. It didn't have a backpack, disappointing, so I just grabbed a few cans of food and just kept running, so it wasn't like I wanted to make a base out of it. In general, I say it again, we now actually have a game. I think I can spend some time now fortifying it with you guys, our little base, and seeing what we can do to survive. And what was cool is that will kind of let us start to see how long you can live off the scavenged supplies you can find in town. When I run out of bullets, I'll have to resort to, you know, hand-to-hand combat to defend myself. And then when I start to run out of food, I'll have to just grab a bicycle, grab the last cans of food that I have, and just head off in a new direction. But I might be able to stay here for a long time, even though the food doesn't duplicate. I might be able to get quite a bit out of the houses, and I know the Leland still has a lot. So we can be here for a long time. I'm pretty excited. Let's see what we can do. But I'll end it here. I just wanted again to share the quick, well, nothing I ever do is quick, but the first impressions of the Hotfix build 14A, and I actually feel like this is a game. I might, before I start fortifying, I might hop on to multiplayer and see what that's like now, because they said they made some fixes to multiplayer, and possibly see if there's actually people who play on a particular server. Maybe now with the things that they have in place, we might be able to start to get a, you know, actually play some multiplayer. I don't know. We'll have to check into that. So I'm feeling way more optimistic about the game now than I have in a super long time. So congratulations, Sandswept. This hot fix alone has definitely changed the feel and play of the game. Alright everybody, I'll leave you with that. Have a great evening.